Hello everyone, this is Jack from Visual Effects. So today I just want to show you how useful some base meshes can be. So at the moment we've only got a few on store, but it will gradually get bigger and bigger as more people subscribe and as we release more assets. Not only that as well, we released photo scans, which again is going to be a slow build, but we're going to start adding to the library with photo scans as well. And the benefit of locking in early when there's less material means that whatever price you lock in, you will always keep that. So if for whatever reason we all of a sudden had millions of assets, you would still only pay, if you locked in at £34 or £39 or now £45, it will always stay that price for you. So what we'll do is we want to use the med kit just to show you how versatile these can be. What I'll do first is I'll quickly set up a scene with HDRI, and then we can start showing the texturing process. So there we have a base mesh. So base meshes, some of them will be pretty much you can use them straight out of the box, and some of them you might want to add details or sculpt or change the shape because they're literally just really low polygon, so you can do whatever you want with them. They're just good starting points. In this instance, this is probably fine for many cases without having to add too much detail. So if we was to just use an Octane shader to just make this look a little bit more realistic, what we'd do is we'll create a universal material, plonk it on, we'll make it somewhere in the middle green, and we could add a surface imperfection for roughness. Bloop. If you are following along exactly, it's surface imperfection 34 on Visual Effects Hut. So it's not a very strong one, so we just want to crank that up a little bit using Octane Gradient, and then we'll actually pair this to 2 or 3 anyway as well. And somewhere about there. As you can see, there's a slight variation there. So that would be a way of automatically getting a medical box, and then you could probably put decals on using another texture with opacity, or creating a plane and putting it on top. So there's a few ways that you could use just this base mesh in its own right like this. But what else we'll do just to finish off this method, which is just the rough, quick, dirty, get something to like fill your scene, is we'll just use the dirt node. We'll crank this strength up to 10, add the detail a little, and then start pushing the radius a tad. So we want to multiply that with the green already that we had, and that means getting a RGB spectrum this time. Copy the hex. Again, I never really use shortcuts on these tutorials to see what's going on, so everyone can see what's going on. So it's quite uniformed, and you've got the option to obviously either invert that as well. But we want to keep it as it is. Make that 6 maybe. And then we can actually feed this texture as well into the dirt map. So it breaks up a bit as well. So it just adds little dirt bits in there. And we can actually either do a ramp again or just a basic color correction in that dirt to help like get a little bit more of it or a little bit less of it. So we've got a kind of a dirty looking case, and that's just one way of doing it. And obviously it just means selecting all these polygons separately, which isn't nice if you used to do it this method, if you wanted to add different colours in different places. So that's one way you could use our base meshes, just with a simple shader to just populate the scene with ease. If it's in a background element and you just need a suitcase, that looks, a little green case, that looks fine, doesn't it? If you wanted to go into a little bit more detail, what you need to do is unwrap the model using whatever software you've got, and then you just need a software that allows you to paint. So in this instance we'll use Adobe Substance Painter. So what we're going to do is you just want to select the file here, change it to 4K, don't know auto unwrap. You can use this if you don't know how to do it. It's not very good though. It might get good one day. And then just press OK. If you look in the description, you'll see that we've got a tutorial on how to unwrap dirty, really fast, quick and dirty UVs. So if you're in a rush and you're not really that bothered about them looking too neat, and for an object like this it doesn't matter anyway, just go to that video and hopefully find that useful. So before we start painting, what we want to do is, if we want to use any smart materials, we need to bake the mesh maps. So we need to just go up to edit, change this to 4K again, and then bake default matte. So that is done now. And what we will do is we will find a plastic. Let's say we like this orange one. So just drag that on. We've got a material, woohoo! But we do want it to be a medical kit, so we'll just go into the base colour. Let's bring that over. Ugh. And change this to a green colour. Cool. And there we have a nice looking box. So quicker than Octane, just getting something that looks good. And well, it looks better because there's a grunge map and stuff as well, but we could have done that. So what we can do then is we can actually duplicate this layer and then change the base to like a black or a grey, not too black. Let's try and put these side by side. Don't need the 2D view. So now we've got the same, it's exactly the same effect, but it's black. So now what we'd like to do is just click on the black layer and then go to this and create black mask. So now we've got no textures because I've got the green turned off, and there's nothing showing on this mask. So if I click in here now, in this little circle for the mask, whatever I draw on will draw and reveal the black smart material underneath. And then if you use an eraser, you can get rid of any bits that you might screw up on. Not using a graphics tablet, and I'm only doing a rough job because it's just showing you what and how to do something. Also, if you press and then shift, you can do lines at a time, which is quite useful for more complicated bits. Today is not my day. I'm usually a lot neater than this. As I said, I'm not going to do an amazing job. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to go perfect as well. If this was like metal instead of plastic, colour starts rubbing off and revealing underneath different colours anyway. So if there was a bit of green showing, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would in this instance because it's plastic. But if you was doing like a metal rusty box, then probably don't necessarily have to be perfect. And then we'll get rid of that and then just show what we've done. So we've got just the black handle and the black clips, and then we turn on our green layer again, and now we've got the two separate elements, which is really cool. Plus we've got the option to select the roughness, so if the box was more shiny than the clips, or the clips was more shiny or metal or metallic, like metal clips and metal handles, we can easily just tweak that now. So it's cool that we've got the two separate masks. And then the last thing I'll show you that you can do to just make these assets actually like finalized is we could literally just create a normal layer, and then we could use a alpha map. So we've got a little plus sign. We're on our new layer, layer 2. We can call this Decals. And we will make this white and not red. So we just need to go in, click our paintbrush. We want the base color to be white. If you do want to be painting roughness as well, so if it's a shiny sticker, knock this down. But we don't. We want it to be quite a rough sticker, so we'll do it up there. So line it up again. Oh, to get this, I just double clicked and it adds it to the alpha channel automatically, but you can just drag it in as well, because you might have imported your own asset and it might not understand what it is. So we've got our little plus on there, and then you could stick a little caution on maybe. But again, you can, on the same layer, or I do tend to do different colours on different layers, just in case you want to tweak them. But you could do that kind of thing, and then where's the text? Where's the text? So just click on the text that you think's right. If you do actually know how to import other fonts, please drop it in the comments, because I actually don't know that, and that would be cool. And they could do a feature on that too, if someone could tell me, 'cause these ain't that great. So if I just put medkit, I can then just change my colour to white again, and then stamp it on. So that's really quite cool now. We've got an asset that actually looks fairly decent, good enough for a game, and potentially good enough for a film if it's only in the background or mid shot. The last thing I will show you is just how to just make these, as we've got a scuffed box, these stickers slash paint probably wouldn't look that great. So we just want to go to the eraser, and we could pick any of these weird imperfection brushes. I quite like the splatter ones usually, and I just crank them up and just start like deleting parts of these things, and then switch it between something that's more probably like that or this. But the idea is to not make it as uniform as well, so just playing with different things. Or just using the edge of a brush as well, which is quite nice to just help make it look like that's come off. Let's get rid of that harsh line. You could be here for hours. But yeah. So I just wanted to show you the concept behind it and what you can actually do if with just the base meshes, and you've got an asset that looks pretty cool now, and you can do whatever you want with it. So yeah, hopefully you found this quite useful, and I'll catch you on the next one.